Hello, and in today's showcase, I will be wrapping up every movie skin besides one, which I will be doing after this video. Once that is done, I am going to be compiling all of the footage of the movie skins into one final video about reviewing them, being the part 1 video. And once part 2 comes out, I will do something similar to what I've been doing, which is just having separate videos and at the end compiling them all into a video. Another note, I would like to thank everyone for 200 subscribers. This is a crazy milestone. I think I would have never reached this fast. I expected to maybe get to at least 200 in a month or two, but this is crazy how fast the views have been gaining in. Starting off first, we have the movie Pteranodon. For the movie Pteranodon, I will be showcasing the sounds first. So first up, we have the C. Next is the G. And then the R. Next up, we have the attacks, being the M1s and the AoEs, starting off with the M1. There is around 2 variants with the M1, being a peck and a bite. And we have the AoE. Next, we have the walking. The running. The slow swimming. And the faster swimming. We also have the flying. Flying upwards. Flying downwards. And sprinting flying, which is different from the normal flying. We have the eating animation next. And then the drinking. Overall, I think this model is pretty decent, being one of my favorite movie skins of this event because it is so basic, but also a well-demanded skin. It is quite simple, only costing 15,000 DNA, to incubate. But next up, we have the Chaos Spino. First, for this thing, I will showcase the roars. First, we have the call. We have the G roar. finally, the R roar. Next, we have the attacks with the M1s. Having two variations of a bite. And then the AoE. Here we have the running. And the walking. As well as the swimming. And the sprint swimming. Here's the drinking. And the eating animation. Overall, I think this skin is just eh. The animations are okay, but I generally do not like the design of this skin, as the face looks a little weird being just colored that way, and it is very small, and I do not like it, and would rather use skins like a crossover Spino or the upcoming movie Spino. Next up, we have the allo, which I'm going to start with the eating and drinking animation. With the eating here, and here with the drinking. Now I'm going to cut some of these a little short and only do one per angle instead of doing the usual two from now on, just because it extends the video longer than it needs to be. But here are the call, growl, and roar animations. Starting with the call. And then we have the growl. And then the R. Here we have the M1s. So it looks like it just has one biting variant. I could be wrong. Maybe there's two. Oh, and it has a headbang or ram. They're gonna show some of this angle too. If it wants to do the bite. Okay. Then here we have the AoE, which I will only be doing once per angle as well, because that takes up so much time. Here's the walking. And the running. Now I think this skin is pretty decent. I only have one complaint with this skin, is that it is pretty undersized, only being similar to the normal allo in size, despite being close to around Soraneops, and is how big it should actually be. I could also say that the roars aren't exactly accurate here, but it's not that much of a complaint since they're pretty decent roars on their own. And then here we have the movie Velociraptor, which I will start with the eating and drinking animations. First, we have the eating. And the drinking, respectively. We have the roars, being first the call. Okay, I'll do that one twice, just because that was short. We have the growl. And then the R roar. Here we have the M1s. Having a bite, a slash, and then a combination of both of them. Here we have the AoE. The walking. And the running. Now, I don't really like this skin that much. In fact, it's my personal least favorite skin of the event. I feel like they could have done the Jurassic Park 3 Velociraptor and it would have been a lot better. Plus, the eyes on this skin are way too big and look a little cartoony. And it also runs kind of weirdly too, in my opinion. Just weirdly. I don't have anything to add on about this skin. So, we're on to the next one. Next, we have the Parasaurolophus. Starting off with the sounds, we have the call. The growl. And finally, the R. Here we have the M1s. Oops. Now we have the M1s. And then the AoE. The eating. Which has two variations, being higher and lower foliage. And then the drinking. We have the walk. And the run. Overall, I really like this skin. It definitely makes me want to use this skin more than any other Paris skin, just because the default one looks a little iffy. It is a shame though that they didn't do the original Parasaur design and stick with, I believe, the Dominion design. But it is still well animated and looks really good in my opinion. Next up, we have the Carno, starting with the sounds, with the call. And then the G. And then the R. the M1s next up, with two variants, it appears. And then the AOE. We have the eating. And then the drinking. Here's the walking. And then the running. Overall, I think this skin is really good. There's only another complaint I have for it, similar to the allo, is it is really undersized. Which it should also be around the same size as Serenops, or Serenops, whatever you want to call it. The roars are decently accurate, though, to the one in the franchise, just being switched up a little bit. I do think it also looks better than the Dominion Allosaurus, being my personal favorite of the two. Next up, we have the Ankylosaurus, starting with the M1s here. And then the AOE. Do that one again, just because he sat down. Then we have the walking. And then the sprinting. And we have our sea roar. Followed by the G. And then the R. Here's the drinking. And then the eating. In my opinion, this is one of my personal favorite skins of the event. I've been waiting for an Anky skin just like this for a long time now, and now that it's finally been delivered, I am impressed with this thing. A quick side note, I won't be reviewing the movie Mosasaurus here, just because it has the exact same sounds and animations as the Chaos version. Next here, we have the Tylosaurus, which I will be reviewing the sounds first, starting with the C. And then we have the G roar. Followed by the R. Also, I just realized I never included the Tylo's sleeping animation in the sleeping video, so here it is. Anyways, here we have the eating. And then the M1s. and then the AoE. We have the walk, or I guess the swim. And the sprint swim. Overall, I don't know how to think about this skin. I don't want to say it's one of my favorites, because I've already said that, so I guess I'll just say I like the skin quite a bit. It is a nice callback to the older games, and is my favorite aquatic of the three that were added. However, this is not mine, and I will actually announce who helped me with 3 of these. Here being the tylo, Moza, and another upcoming one. Second to last, we have the hatz, which we'll start with the eating animation. And then the drinking. Here are the M1s. Do the bite. There you go. And then the AoE. Which has a sky variant as well. Here's the C. The G. And then the R. We have the walk. And then the run. As well as the flying. Flying down. And go up. There's the flying up. And the flying down. Overall, this skin is okay. The issue with it is it copies some of the roars from the Chaos Mosasaurus / movie Moza, with the call being the exact same as the Mosa's G. I don't get why this was done, and the skin is currently buggy, as well have a weird hitbox. Note that I also realized I never included this one's sleeping animation either, so here it is. At least I didn't think I did. And finally, we have one that I was going to do a different video on by itself, but decided to do it here because that would be unreasonable. The Forgotten Mutant, also known as the Mutadon, for Avanicus. So first up, we have the walk, and the run, the M1s, and the AoE. Here we have the C, G. And finally, the R. We have the gliding animation, the glide down. We have the drinking, and the eating. And here we have the climbing animation. Overall, I think it's okay. This skin just doesn't look right to me for some reason, but it is definitely a good looking skin. Now thank you to Ray4809 on Discord for letting me use the mutadon, Chaos Spino, and the classified Tylosaurus for this video. Now that'll be it for this video. I thank you all so much again for getting me to 200 subscribers. I'm appreciative of it. I'm very appreciative. And for everyone that joined that giveaway, the prize has been claimed already. It'll be a while until I host another giveaway, just because I need to set more rules, since a lot of people were entering multiple names. Now I know if you put parentheses around it, that was your display name, so I threw your username on there, or the one that was not in parentheses, or the one that seemed like your username. But there were some people posting multiple names on there that I only included the first one they listed. But other than that, thank you very much, and hit the subscribe if you want to. You don't have to, not telling you to, but it would be nice. And thank you again for 200 subscribers. It's just a crazy milestone I could never imagine hitting this fast. Bye. Hope you have a good day, and get these skins, I guess.